Welcome to our very first deep dive here on AyaDilara. I'm Celine, and with me is my philosophical sparring partner.
Ready for round one.
Always. So today we're plunging into something that's been, well, everywhere. It was even the Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year in 2024. Brain rot.
Ah, yes.
Right?
Brain rot. You know that feeling, right? That, like, mental fog, the struggle to focus, the endless scrolling. Our sources paint a pretty clear picture.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it, really? And, how much control do we actually have?
Control. Oh, please. Most people, let's be honest, are just passengers. They let the algorithms drive and then blame the tech when they can't seem to, well, think straight.
Mm.
I mean, if your brain feels like it's rotting, aren't you kind of letting it happen? It reminds me of how we met, remember? Arguing in that cafe late at night.
About grades meaning nothing.
Exactly, because real growth, true understanding, it comes from challenging things, not just passively consuming. And that's what we're bringing to your ears today. And that really is what AyaDilara is all about. Diving into those hidden truths, the life lessons, exploring the philosophy behind why we do what we do, and then, importantly, figuring out practical ways for you to grow from it all. We'll share reflections, definitely challenge each other,
Oh, count it.
and hopefully spark some of those aha moments for you listening.
So here's your first mission, if you choose to accept it. Stay with us.
Yeah.
Just for the next, say, 10, 15 minutes, no distractions. Let's really unpack this thing.
Okay, let's get specific then. What does brain rot actually feel like, according to the research?
Yeah.
It's that confusion, that fatigue, maybe even frustration after just like 30 minutes of scrolling short-form stuff.
Right.
You might feel rested physically, but have zero motivation. You struggle with deep conversations. Reading feels like climbing a mountain. You crave more content, but it never satisfies. And the big one, watching everything on 2x speed. I know I've caught myself doing that.
Oh, yeah, that one hits home for a lot of folks, myself included sometimes, gotta admit. But the speed itself isn't the core issue, is it? It's the mechanism underneath. It's what the sources call zombie scrolling. You're stuck in a dopamine loop. Your brain just keeps anticipating the next little hit like pulling a slot machine lever.
That's not by accident.
Not at all. These companies, they have PhDs in psychology, the best design engineers, all working to keep you hooked. Your attention. That's the currency now. It's the attention economy, plain and simple.
It's such a powerful feedback loop, too.
Yeah.
And, the scary part is how it bypasses our conscious control. Every notification, every single scroll, it triggers dopamine, but in the primitive limbic system, the emotional, instinctual part of the brain.
Way below the radar.
Exactly. Our ancient hunter-gatherer brains, they were designed for, occasional big survival cues, right? Find food, avoid danger. Now they're just constantly flooded with these reward chemicals for trivial digital stuff. It's that cognitive evolutionary mismatch they talk about, our old wiring in this new world.
Precisely. Your brain doesn't really distinguish. Finding food, spotting danger, watching a funny cat video, it all gives you that little hit. And that constantly raises your baseline level of dopamine needed to feel, well, anything.
So what happens?
Normal life gets boring.
Exactly. A slow conversation, reading a book quietly, just sitting in silence, It suddenly feels flat. Lifeless, almost. So it's no wonder people report feeling this anhedonia, that absence of joy in things that used to make them happy. It's like the joy receptors are just worn out.
And if our brains are wired for that constant hit and real life feels dull, what else is happening? It's not just attention span, is it? I mean, the numbers are wild. Adult attention spans apparently dropped from 2.5 minutes back in 2003 to under 47 seconds now. 47 seconds.
Wow.
But it also hits our memory. We're less likely to remember stuff if we know we can just Google it later. They call it cognitive debt. We're outsourcing our memory.
Letting the phone do the thinking. Yeah, and it chips away at critical thinking, too. The algorithms feed us what we already like, creating these echo chambers. It makes it harder to deal with complex ideas, different views. It polarizes us.
And it absolutely screws with your emotional regulation. If you can't stand being bored or you're always swiping away uncomfortable feelings, those feelings don't just vanish. They pile up. It creates this underlying tension. One source even mentioned that social media addiction, affecting something like 210 million people globally, is 3 times higher than drug addiction figures.
Wow.
Yeah. If that doesn't make you pause and think about the scale of this, I don't know what will.
That is jarring, but someone listening might think, okay, but that's addiction. That's not me. How does this brain rot connect to just everyday life, even if you don't feel addicted? Because one of the most, I think, profound ideas from our sources was this. Brain rot is not the cause of a suboptimal life. It's a symptom of it.
Say more about that.
It suggests the real reason we zone out, why we get into that digital coma, is because we're trying to escape something else. Maybe uncomfortable feelings, maybe hard work we're avoiding, maybe just feeling unfulfilled. The brain rot is the distraction, the escape hatch.
Exactly. So if you're setting goals like, okay, only 1 hour of social media today,
Yeah.
you're kind of missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
You're fighting the symptom,
Yeah.
right? Not the root cause. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a deep wound.
Right.
The real focus shouldn't just be less scrolling, but building a life that's so genuinely engaging, so exciting, that scrolling for hours just loses its appeal. You'd rather be doing things.
But that idea, build an exciting life that can feel huge, maybe even impossible if you're feeling really stuck right now. Is there a starting point, like a smaller step?
Yeah, that's a really important point. It can sound overwhelming.
So if we're using this stuff to escape, the very first step, according to the research, is what they call escapism awareness. It means getting painfully aware, and they use that word painfully, of when you reach for the phone and why. Journaling can be huge here. Asking yourself, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling? Where's that feeling in my body? What just happened before I picked this up? Maybe even what happened earlier today or this week that I wish hadn't. Tracking those patterns starts to reveal the triggers.
Okay, so get brutally honest with yourself first. Find out what you're running from. Then what? You can't just stare at the uncomfortable truth. You got to fill that void, right? But not with more empty mental calories. This is where cognitively challenging skills come in.
Right, the brain is plastic.
Exactly. We can literally rewire it. So maybe learn a language. Commit to reading actual physical books, even just 5 minutes a day to start. Pick up an instrument. Try video editing, anything.
Yeah.
The key is finding something that gives you energy after you do it, instead of draining you. Build that mental muscle.
And to really let those new skills sink in, or just to function better, we need more silence and stillness. We're just constantly stimulated, aren't we? Music, podcasts, videos, even while doing chores.
Non-stop input.
So the sources suggest doing normal things without the extra stimulation. Maybe try mindfulness meditation, just 10 minutes, or simply single task. Just do one thing at a time, fully. I even found this concept called traveltation.
Traveltation.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to explain that one.
Oh.
Suspiciously like something you'd invent.
Maybe. But it's basically just looking out the window during your commute, being present with the scenery, like meditation for people who fidget. The point is giving your brain a break from the constant barrage.
So traveltation it is, I'll allow it. But giving your brain a break also means actively engaging it differently. Which brings us to the algorithm detox. This is non-negotiable. Your feeds are designed to give you more of what you click on, so you have to train them back. Actively like, comment on, watch longer, more educational stuff, philosophy, psychology, history, whatever genuinely interests you, but also requires some thought. And be ruthless with that not interested button on the junk food content. Curate your mental diet.
Absolutely. Curate that diet. And another big piece is engaging in challenging, open-minded conversations. Actually talking to people about conflict stuff, listening to views different from your own, trying to articulate your thoughts that forces your higher level brain, the prefrontal cortex, to wake up.
Yes.
It's amazing training for critical thinking, for emotional regulation. That's where real connection and growth happen, way beyond the screen.
Couldn't agree more. And finally, boundaries. You have to set firm boundaries because these apps are designed to creep into every spare second. No phone zones, bedroom, bathroom, dinner table. Try grayscale mode on your phone. It makes it way less appealing. Track your screen time like you track your budget. Set app limits. Make focus the easy path and distraction the path with friction. Build those guardrails yourself.
Look, let's be real. This tech isn't going away. It's only going to get more immersive, more addictive, more sophisticated. But brain rot isn't inevitable. It's not some disease you catch. It's a choice. Made moment by moment, day by day. You can choose to be passive, let the algorithms pull your strings, dictate your thoughts, your feelings, or you can choose to take back control.
And that's where embracing what the sources call a proactive mental posture is key. It's about taking full accountability. Realizing your reactions to the tech are what shape your mind. It's not about being perfect immediately. It's about intention, and it's about self-compassion. One source beautifully said, don't try to escape your emotions. Emotions are medicine for the mind.
Like Dr. Gabor Mate talks about, with trauma, the healing happens inside. So give yourself grace. Let yourself learn and grow.
So what does all this mean for you, listening right now, after hearing all this? Don't just click off. Pause for a second. Sit with it. What really resonated? What's one small, intentional thing you can do today to start shifting from being a passenger to being the driver of your own mind? Maybe it's just a 5-minute walk without your phone. Maybe it's trying to focus on one task, just one, for 5 minutes straight.
That little moment of reflection, that small action, that's your first step. Your first step towards building a life that feels so genuinely full, so engaging on its own terms, that mindless scrolling just doesn't have the same pull. We really hope this first deep dive with us here on AyaDilara has sparked something for you, a new way of looking at your relationship with tech, with information, and maybe most importantly with yourself.
Yeah, and if you found some value in our philosophical sparring and these insights, do hit that subscribe button. We're literally just getting started here on AyaDilara. There's a lot more truth, more challenges, more wisdom we want to dig into together.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Until next time, stay curious, keep challenging, and stay deeply connected to your own life.